Hi, you guys. Welcome back for our daily practice questions. It is day 321, and as always, I like to first start with my introduction and disclaimer before getting started with our questions for today. So, for those of you who are familiar with me, hey y'all. For those of you who are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Dr. Brittany Weinstock, a family nurse practitioner and the founder and CEO of the Nursing Studio. I provide resources, tools, review courses, review videos, review books, digital flashcards, Q banks, one on one sessions, and more to assist nurses as well as nurse practitioners with success on their boards as well as in practice. I've been doing this since 2015, assisting nurses and nurse practitioners internationally with exam success. But y'all know my disclaimer and reminder is that we know there's no absolutes in medicine. We treat on a patient by patient basis, and any of the questions that you see here, I have designed and created based on the current guidelines that are being tested on the ANCC as well as AANP exam. Now, any of my videos where I'm teaching on things that we currently do in practice, I will always say that so there's no confusion. So, with that being said, let's get into question number one for today. But before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you're not missing any of my videos. And if you would like to gain access to my NP Test Success Toolkit, it is free and linked in the description. My website is also linked in the description and it houses all the resources that I do offer. And I always like to direct you to my business profile by simply going to Google and searching the Nursing Studio. It will bring you here where you can find my contact telephone number, link to my website, and testimonials from previous review students. All right, question number one. A 46-year-old woman presents for routine screening. Her fasting plasma glucose is 108 milligrams per deciliter, and her BMI is 29. She has no symptoms. Which diagnosis is most appropriate? Is it A, normal glucose? Is it B, prediabetes? Is it C, type 2 diabetes? Or is it D, impaired fasting due to acute illness? Take a moment and tell me what you got. All right, so I always recommend reading the stem of the question first, as it allows you to slow down to ensure you're answering what is even being asked of you. So here, the stem of the question states, which diagnosis is most appropriate? And I always tell you, if the stem is looking for a diagnosis, you have to run it back and look at the assessment findings. So we have a 46-year-old female here for routine screening. Her fasting plasma glucose is 108, BMI is 29. This is B, prediabetes. Remember, prediabetes is considered anywhere where fasting glucose is 100 to 125 milligrams per deciliter. Okay, that's prediabetes. Prediabetes. If it's exceeding the 126 fasting, that's the criteria for positive for type 2 diabetes, right? But prediabetes is anywhere from 100 to 125. And pay attention to that. Don't get tripped up on these things and miss it when it's prediabetes versus diabetes. All right, question number two. A 52-year-old man is screened for diabetes. His A1C is 7.6% and his fasting glucose is 132. He has no symptoms. What is the next appropriate step? Is it A, diagnose type 2 diabetes based on this A1C alone? Is it B, repeat either the A1C or the fasting glucose in 1 week to confirm? Is it C, order a random glucose? Or is it D, diagnose type 2 diabetes immediately since both are elevated? Take a moment and tell me what you got. All right, stem of the question states, what is the next appropriate step? So even that next uh, step in care, management, whatever, however they phrase that, that's still a form of a plan, right? So that falls under the treatment category, the plan category. So you still need to run it back and see if they have provided you with a diagnosis, right? And if not, you need to take it back a step further and look at these assessment findings so you can determine what it is. This is a way of them assessing plan and treatment along with that implementation evaluation phase. So a 52-year-old man is screened for diabetes, right? So this is a diabetes screening. A1C is 7.6. We know that's elevated. Fasting glucose is 132. We know that's elevated as well, right? So the 132 is telling us that the fasting glucose is elevated. The A1C is also telling us that this has been elevated and even more than the 132 during these past 90 days, correct? But when we have two positives of the type 2 diabetes criteria, you can proceed with a diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. So D is your best answer. All right, lastly, question number three. A newly diagnosed 58-year-old patient with type 2 diabetes has an A1C of 7.4%, normal renal function, and no contraindications. What is the first line pharmacologic treatment? Is it A, metformin, B, sulfonylureas, C, insulin, or D, GLP-1 receptor agonist? Take a moment and tell me what you got. All right, stem of the question. What is the first line pharmacologic treatment? So again, if they're looking for a treatment, you got to run it back and look and see if they provided you with a diagnosis. And the diagnosis is provided here. States that this is newly diagnosed type 2 diabetic. Their A1C is 7.4. They have normal renal functions. So your best answer is A, metformin. Remember, metformin is the first line therapy for type 2 diabetes. But also remember, renal function plays a huge role, so you want to pay attention to that as well. So the renal function here is normal, so you can proceed with metformin. All right, y'all. I hope you found this helpful. As always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with whoever you may think may find this beneficial as well. But y'all know what to do. Y'all make sure y'all meet me back here. And if you need any of the resources that I do offer, feel free to reach out to the nursing studio by giving us a call. You can shoot us a text message. You can shoot us an email. And as always, everything that I do offer is linked in the bio of this channel, including my website. And as I mentioned previously, my website is also linked in the description of this video. All right, y'all. Y'all know what to do. Y'all make sure y'all meet me back here. Happy studying. Bye, y'all.